Hi, good evening, partners. I wanted to put together this quick video note to talk about the Omnii XT15 and modularity, how to position modularity, how to position the Omnii. This is a device that came over from Scion in the acquisition by Motorola. It's a device that, quite honestly, a lot of people, I think to this day, still have trouble kind of figuring out, where does it fit, how to position it, how can I sell it when there's actually other devices in the product lineup that may be very similar. And at first glance, maybe they are. But if you take a look at some of the differentiators, you're going to see there actually truly is a market for this and truly is a niche. So this device, the Omnii, again, came from Scion. Scion developed. I'm actually very familiar with it, meaning that I came from Scion as well. But there's actually 3 different versions of this. So there's the standard XT15. There is also the XT15F, which F stands for freezer. There's actually 2 versions of the freezer. There's the Arctic version and the chiller version. Those differences really depend upon the environmental extremes that you're going to be working within. And then also the XT15NI. NI stands for non-incentive. So that's actually class 1 div 2. So if you've got an application that's going to be used in environments where explosive gases could be present, NI is something you're probably already aware that you're going to be looking for. You can see here the different industry verticals: manufacturing, T&L, oil and gas, freezer for cold chain, as well as some of the different applications. One of the things I would specifically want to draw your attention to, I talked about the one platform for almost any industrial or extreme environmental need. That's obviously true, but the display is extremely tough. And if you think about the Achilles heel of most of these mobile computers, it is the display. The display is extremely strong. In addition, you can't see it in the picture now, but there's actually, the display is actually kind of, the bezel around the display between the keyboard and the display is actually kind of, this is exaggerated, but kind of in this fashion. So if it falls down on the floor, down like a hard concrete floor, that sort of thing, the display is actually kind of protected by the shell and the design of the unit. Another thing here says the ultra rugged 20-hour battery. 20-hour battery is we've actually got some great time-lapse videos that show the device being scanned every X number of seconds and connected to a wireless network, and the battery test took 20 hours. You may think, well, what's the need for that? But if you think about lost productivity, if a device goes dead in the middle of a shift, how much time is wasted when the end user needs to stop what he's doing, take a walk back to the battery charging bay, may stop and talk to a friend, may stop and go to the bathroom, who knows. There's a lot of lost productivity when it comes to simply changing on a battery. Something that seems so simple does impact productivity. It talks about the 6.5 drop spec to concrete, as well as the device being IP67 and IP65. You see a picture here down the bottom left where actually being used underwater, so it is completely submersible at IP67. In this video, they actually showed it scanning a barcode underwater. The difference between IP67 and IP65, IP65 means it can withstand water jets from washdowns at different angles. IP67 means it's submersible. So if we go, we kind of dig further into this. What's the benefit to end users? The first benefit would be mix and match chassis and components. So if you're an IT help desk and you've got multiple applications in your facility, you only have to support one device. You only have to support one device, but it can be configured and outfitted in so many different ways. So you don't have to worry about buying a different version of a device for different types of things. You can actually potentially swap components from one device and outfit the device for use in a whole nother application in a matter of minutes. Number 2, future-proof. Let's just say future-resistant. There's well over 1,000 combinations when you consider the scanner, the GPS, RFID modules, and cameras, and so forth. So if there is a situation where your business needs evolve, you can actually just update the device. You don't have to trade it in. You don't have to just scrap it and buy new. You can actually have a device that actually grows with you. And again, that goes parts of that total cost of ownership. That's a huge differentiator. As you can see, the different modules are different, kind of exploded view here of the device over on the right hand side. All these are different modules that can be purchased after the fact, or purchased for one unit to be configured in multiple ways depending upon your application. Obviously, with something I said future resistant, future proof, the risk of obsolescence is removed. So we can, if a new technology comes out, or let's say hypothetically some new type of barcode scan engine, we can create a module for the device, so you don't necessarily have to replace the device. You could just swap out barcode scan modules. This kind of ties back into if you have a 1D barcode and all of a sudden maybe a couple years down the road you need to go to a 2D barcode. It's obviously very simple to do. Reduced need for RMAs. Again, I've mentioned about the Achilles heel device, which is the display. Can you imagine actually having some displays sitting on your shelf? Instead of having to send out for repair, you just swap out the display yourself. Don't have to worry about packing it up and shipping it in. You just do it yourself out in the field. And then lowest total cost of ownership. This is a huge one. Again, this is a way to differentiate the conversation that you're having with your end users and differentiate yourself from many of your competitors. Talking about TCO, other devices out in the market don't have those same type of abilities and same type of benefits that you can have a true TCO conversation about. So this slide here shows the different line worker devices and does talk about the positioning. We don't have to go into this all specifically, but you can see here the XT15 more closely resembles the MC95 that many of you are familiar with. But a lot of people try to kind of pair it up with this MC9000, MC9190 or 92 and think it's interchangeable with that, where in actuality it's actually more durable and actually more closely positioned to another device, the MC95. But again, MC95 doesn't have that same type of modularity, doesn't have the RFID options that the XT15 has. Just wanted again to share this information with you. You're welcome to pause the video and read through these different differentiators at the bottom. It kind of tells you, when to lead with which type of device. Again, I get this question fairly often. As is this device going to be around, and why is it still around, and is there really a home for it, and what's the true differentiators with it? And again, so I thought it'd be a good idea to put this quick video together and share it with you all.